it's Brian Shannon from AlphaTrends.net. Today is Monday, the 26th of January, 2009. Let's go ahead and take a look at these stocks that I'd mentioned yesterday. I'm going to go a little bit quicker so the video doesn't end up so long again. First stock I'd mentioned as a potential long candidate was BEAV. As I said yesterday, I thought that the stock was a purchase, maybe that we would see some momentum above $9.50. The stock did not meet those entry criteria. I think you still want to keep your eye on this stock as a potential trade, but it probably needs another day or two of healing before it can get moving higher. So there was no trade really in BEAV. If you saw my order book, I did take a trade in it earlier in the day today and made just a very small amount but got out of there very quickly. I thought it was basically going to hold above the VWAP. It didn't, so I got out. Next up, we looked at Ciena. Ciena, I was looking at a potential pullback candidate in here and then potentially go. I think I was at about $7.45. It still looks like it might be set up for some upside, but I'm going to take this one off the list, actually. I don't like the fact, I just don't like the way it trades with this lower high in here and lower lows. Maybe after a couple more days of healing, then it could potentially continue. OIH, I didn't give any specific recommendations. Same with XLE. I just said that basically they look like they can continue higher, and they did today. So I won't update those again either. Unless something changes that makes me want to look at them once again. On MEA, I said that basically getting above 270, the worst case stop would go below 245 or so. I think you can raise that stop up if you're in this, probably to about $2.68 or so. The stock still looks like it's got the potential to continue to move higher. It's a smaller stock, but it did trade up with some big volume in here, and potentially we could see this one continue to move higher. NIHD, I'd said above $20 a share. It looked like a good purchase. You can see now I didn't get involved in it. Of course I'm not going to get involved in all these, but it did make a very nice move higher. Never came down to the level that I said would be its worst case stop. And I was setting these up as swing trades basically, but the way I look for trades is, again, I think we're primarily in a day trading environment, so I want to look for swing trade candidates, but then use day trade skills to get in and out of them. When the stock broke below the daily VWAP here at about $20.80, if you were in at $20 a share, I think that would have been a great place to get out, as that VWAP continued to act as resistance and then it broke down. Keep your eye on this one. I'm going to discontinue updating it though. I want to make this list a lot more manageable, and then I can get more updates out and keep them shorter as well. ROC, again, these are all broken stocks. I'm going to mention a couple more at the end of this anyway. We can see that we do have another higher low in here. The stock did clear that $8.20 level. It's right, closed at $8.15. It did get below its daily VWAP as well. If you're in this stock, I think that maybe about a nickel below today's lows is the most risk you should be taking at this point. So basically about, let's say, $7.80 is your worst case stop. Yesterday I said $7.75, so you can raise that stop up a little bit. In other words, Whole Foods, I was looking, if this stock I thought got above 55, 60 cents, then it was a good place to buy. I purchased this stock, and I think I lost a little bit, but it still looks worthy of looking at. I think maybe let's give it about a nickel below today's low. So let's just say about $11.23 would be your worst case stop at this point if you're in Whole Foods. Again, these weekly time frames are still a mess. Don't get too comfortable with these. Be aware of when the earnings are due out. I have no idea. I haven't checked. So Alexion, I did get involved in here on the short side briefly. I said that basically it really needed to break below 35.50 for the downward momentum to really kick in here. But below 36.10, I thought maybe it had the potential to move lower. So we saw that it gapped lower, rallied up, pulled back down, and then got up to here. It didn't violate that worst case stop that I was talking about in here. So had you been involved, there was a little bit of opportunity to make some profit in there. I still think the stock looks vulnerable below this level. Right now, if you're looking to get involved on a break below there, I think your worst case stop at this point goes right around 36.20 or so. Celgene, I had mentioned, is a very speculative bet on earnings. I'm not involved. It's still looking like death here potentially if they report bad earnings, but I haven't gotten involved yet. Again, it's more of a bet. You know exactly what your risk is if you get involved with the options. I would definitely not short the stock, though. FLIR, I'd said getting below 27.70 would probably be a good place to get involved on the short side here. Probably still the case. So it didn't give us any reason for an entry in here today. And again, these are just candidates. That's all they are. I think that basically, I'm not going to come up with new parameters for this one. I'm going to leave this one alone and actually scratch this one off the list for right now on FLIR. The next one we had was PSYS, and PSYS. This one we were looking for it to break down below $25 a share. It never got below $25 a share. You can see here the low today was actually $25.01, so no reason to get involved there. If it starts breaking back down, well, you know what, I'd stay away from this one for now as well, but keep it on your radar because it still looks really vulnerable to me on these longer term time frames. Perrigo never gave us a reason for entry as well. I think that it still looks weak. I said below 29.75 on this stock. The low today was 29.76. So, had you gotten involved, you want to lower your stop down towards these levels as well. Manage risk. That's job number one. Teva Pharmaceuticals still looks vulnerable, perhaps below this level right here. So I think that below 41.85 you could get short this one. Worst case stop probably right up around 42.35, let's say, on Teva. VIVO, this one didn't give us any reason for an entry. Probably going to scratch this one off the list right now as well. A couple new stocks potentially for the long side. AK Steel. Daily chart looks terrible, so nothing to get excited about in here other than potentially, a little bit of a trade, let's say above $10 a share. If it can get above 10, absolute worst case stop goes below this level. I'd rather see it pull up and maybe make a higher low at about 960 and then put a stop below there. CVTX, it's a little bit extended here, but it's holding up nicely at this level. And on the weekly time frame, if it can push past that $12 level, perhaps it's got room up towards about $14 a share. So on this stock, I think you want to see it get at least above 1165 and maybe nibble on it a little bit right here. Stop below 1120. So maybe buy a little bit around 1145 or so, add up there. Then as you add, raise your stop basically to break even on the trade. Stock that looks vulnerable to me right now is Amazon. I think breaking, I'm not going to give any official, here's where to short, but it's had some pretty good support in here recently that if it breaks these levels, then, there could be big problems for Amazon. So keep an eye on that one. Same with POOL. This is, they're involved in pool construction and probably a lot less people buying pools these days. Maybe below this level in here. I'm not going to give any specific recommendation. Just keep an eye on it. A couple junk stocks to watch. Level 3. We watched this one last week. Never gave us a reason for entry. I think maybe above $1.20 you could get involved in level 3 with your worst case stop down near about $1.07 or so. ZGEN we had on the list last week as well. Still making this little pattern of lower highs and lower lows below the 5-day moving average. Maybe getting above 420. Absolute worst case stop goes below this, what appears to be a higher low right now. And finally, we also looked at HGSI last week, or at least I'd mentioned it on Twitter. Maybe above $2.20. Absolute worst case stop right down here at about 202, 203. This group basically has shown some strength recently, and we could see a move up towards 2.5, and then if it can push back past there, then maybe we'll get some real strong momentum.